Good evening, ladies. It's me, Indigo. I know it seems like I fell off the face of the earth. Actually, I had recorded this video already. I wasn't kind of feeling the way the vibe of the video was going. So I decided to just re-record it and touch base with you guys. As far as my little, what was it? My Skype doctor's appointment went great. I'm going to discuss that with you guys. So this isn't going to be a very long video, just long enough to touch on some points for you guys and let you know what's up. Yes, as you see, I'm in my purple thing. My living room is purple and gray, which surprises so many people. They're like, you actually did a purple and gray living room? Yeah, actually my whole house, my whole entire house, except for Sydney, my wife's man cave. That is more of a Marilyn Monroe themed. But for the most part, my home is purple and or shades of purple and gray. So, you know, that always, like, what? When people walk in here, they don't know how well it's gonna look, but I think I pulled it off pretty well. But so I've got my little purple to match my purple that's going on. So you've got like what, 4 shades of purple going on right now. But anyway, on top of that, hi, I hope everybody's doing well. I am doing wonderful. I'm going to tell you about how my Skype doctor's appointment went and tell you all the particulars about that. So as the ones who have been watching my channel know that I am going through embryo adoption, and with that I will be using embryos. I have changed clinics. I was going to do a clinic here in North Carolina. As you know, I relocated North Carolina because the pricing seemed to be a little cheaper for IVF, because we were going to do reciprocal IVF, but we decided to turn around and do embryo adoption just because of price points. And if you want to be a mother, it doesn't matter if you're a mother of a baby that actually came from you, or you know, one that you bring into your home via regular adoption or embryo adoption. And I just want to be a mother at this point. So, you know, with time not being on my side because of my age and other factors, we just decided, hey, embryo adoption is a way to go. So without further ado, on August 27th, I had my Skype doctor's appointment with Dr. Russell. Dr. Russell is the head doctor at Delaware Institute for Reproduction Medicine in Delaware. So I will be going to Delaware for the transfer. All the other testing can be done here locally, just like with the other clinic that I was going to use, because they were on the other side of the state. They said that I could do my testing locally and then just go over there for the actual transfer. So that's great. So very good doctor's appointment. We discussed everything. Now, as y'all guys know, I'm on a weight loss journey because with the other clinic, they kind of wanted my BMI a little lower. I was right at the 35, which is their max. They cap out at 35. You cannot do it if you're above 35. They want you to get your weight below that. But I am definitely below that now. However, this clinic, they're saying, it's more if you're just healthy, the way your fat is proportioned the way it is. So technically, I'm a good candidate now. However, I'm still on the same course as I want to get a little bit more weight off first before I do it, because I look at whatever weight that I might lose, I'll be the same weight I'll probably gain in the pregnancy. And because I am older, it's going to be a little harder to get that weight off. So I'm looking at the reality of it all versus I want to do this, I want to do this now, I want to just be pregnant. No, I want to have the safest pregnancy possible for me. So my course may not be somebody else's course. The information I'm about to give you is viable information from the clinic. However, a lot of this is just my opinion. You take your own course, you do what works for you. This is just what I'm choosing to do it. And like I said, I'm choosing to go ahead and lose some more weight before I do it. However, I know what you guys are all waiting for. You're all waiting to find out financial part of it. Well, let me say this. Before I even spoke to the doctor, I spoke to one of the nurse practitioners. We spoke on the phone for a little bit before we even Skyped. So I actually physically called me at my appointment time, and we talked for about 5 minutes. We went through some particulars, and then I set up the Skype, and we sat down, and she actually Skyped me in, and through my computer, and we were sitting there, and then she talked to me some more. Then the doctor came in and we talked, and he discussed everything with me. Said I would be a great candidate for this. Looking through my medical records, looking at everything, it looks like everything will be absolutely fine. So that's actually a plus for me, because I was really, really nervous, because different doctors say different things. So you don't know what one doctor is going to say versus another doctor. So you kind of want to be prepared. And I had myself mentally prepared for this man possibly saying no. I am not the youngest person in the book. However, he said it just, personality, everything, looking at medical records, everything looks like it's going to be okay. So we're not really going to worry about some of the other things that I was kind of worried about. So that's a plus. Anyway, so then after I was done talking to him, I went the financial person came right on the Skype. So that was a good thing. And they discussed everything with me. As I'm on the phone now with Derm, they're called Derm, DIRM. With them, you set up a web account with them from the very beginning. So when you do schedule your appointment, they give you a login to their web, and you have your own page. So on that page, they give you all your documentations. They give you everything you want. So like if they're going to give you any prescriptions, they put it right on there for you, and you just print it out and take it to the doctor, or they'll call in the doctor, however. But anything you need or anything they discuss with you, they download right on there at that time, and you can print it out. So like this informational sheet, which is the embryo donor program. I don't know if you can see it, but as you see, it's the embryo donor program. I will be discussing the prices with you. This is from them. So as you see, Dr. Russell and Derm, I don't know if you can see it. Okay. So anyway, this is what was sent to me via that site once I got done speaking with them. I mean, like, it was almost instantaneous. Okay, so the biggest question everybody has is, what is the deposit? It's the same as the deposit that I paid here. Now, the Skype, so for the actual consultation, that was more than here. I paid $300. $300 up front is what I paid for that consultation on the 27th. So that was the initial cost. Now, on top of that, the program fee. The program fee includes access to the donor catalog and one counseling section with the head nurse for this. That is $500. The $300 that you paid for that consult does not come off the $500. So they are two separate fees. So right now, I've paid $800. $300 for the actual Skype consult, which I thought was a little high. I'm not going to lie, especially when I did a face-to-face consult here for the other clinic that I was going to tell you, for about $100 less than that. So I felt that, especially for it to be Skype, was a little high. But once I seen the informational package and I seen their pricing, I kind of felt a little bit better why their consult was a little higher. I'm about to get that. So like I said, the program fee is $500. Now, they have something called a global cycle, and they had discussed this with me, and this was the option that I chose. Now, you may call them, you may talk to them, you may go a different route, and that's absolutely okay. But this was the route I chose because it seemed the most cost effective. It seemed like I would have the best results, and it seemed like it was just perfect for me. For me, not for everybody else that's listening to this, but for me. So this is the way I chose to go. So I'm going with the global cycle fee. The global cycle fee is $7,200. Now, that is definitely more than the one here. However, let me tell you what you get for that $7,200. So the global cycle fee, the program fee, includes access to the journal catalog, which is that $500 that you paid. The global fee includes all services, including office visits. So you will not be charged for any additional office visits every time that you go. Unlike when you pay the cheaper fee, and if you don't have insurance, you have to pay for each time that you go see the doctor. That with this, you do not pay. It is included for the $7,200. So even if you don't have insurance, if you do have insurance, it's all included in that one inclusive fee. So that was one of the pluses that I seen on this program. So you're getting all office visits, all ultrasounds, all in-office hormonal studies, all IVF laboratory procedures related to embryo thaw and culture through the first pregnancy test and transfer. This one that I'm going with includes up to 2 embryos. So you have 2 embryos. Now, what's not covered is the medications, the psychological fee, which I've already done. So I actually, because I was going to go with the other clinic, I already did my psychological evaluation. So I've actually got that out the way. So that was kind of easy. That's already done. I don't really have to worry about that, but it's taken care of. And here in North Carolina, I paid $165 for that, which is very cheap compared to some of the other ones. I've heard as much as $450 for the psychological evaluation for you and your partner. I paid $165 in Cary, North Carolina, which is outside of Raleigh. So to me, that was just, a very good price, and it's already taken care of. So I actually already, my little shirt. So I actually already sent that to them, the day of my consult. Okay. So all blood work screening done at any outside laboratory. So they included in theirs, but because I'm not in that state and I'm doing it at an outside lab, they're not covering it, of course. But I know it will be covered by insurance, so it is hence what it is. But had I lived in Delaware, it would have been included in their global fee. Okay. So any variances that they might have to take off, any miscarriages. If you have a miscarriage, they're not doing the DNC for you free. You would have to pay through your insurance. But these are all things that most insurances do cover for anyway, so it's nothing major. They're just not covering the minor stuff that most insurance companies cover anyway. But I still love that global fee program where they're covering all your ultrasounds, all your everything, where normally you have to pay through that either through insurance or something else. So I think that's just, a great little package. Now, here's the thing, and the way they explained it to me. So I can do for that $7,250. I'm sorry if I said $7,200. It's $7,250. For that $7,250, I get 2 attempts. Not one. I get 2 attempts. So if the first time does not take, I can do it again for free. Now, any other testing that might have to be done again, that's just like I said, anything your insurance might, blood work or something. But if you get it done there, it is covered. So, yes, again, that global fee for $7,250. They're covering all that. So if the first one, if I don't get a positive pregnancy test, I get to turn around the next cycle and do it again for free. It's included in the $7,250. I haven't seen anything like that before. Everywhere else is, if it don't happen the first time, you will turn around, you will pay that $5,000 again or the $6,000 again and have to do it all over again. With this program, you get 2 attempts. If those 2 attempts do not work, here's the best part. You get 2 more attempts for an additional $2,600. If the first 2 don't work. So say the first 2 don't work, I went through cycle 1, negative pregnancy test, went through cycle number 2, negative pregnancy test. I can turn around and give them $2,600 more and do the whole program again. 2 more attempts. 1 attempt if I'm not, successful. And so I'm getting a total of 4 attempts for basically $9,800. If I have to do 4 attempts. If I work on the first 2 attempts, I get that for $7,200, including all ultrasounds, all blood work, if I do it there, all labs. Everything is included for that $7,200. It's all inclusive. Now, you get, you just have to attend a 1-hour counseling session, like I told you about. Prices are subject to change. So like when I downloaded this paper and all the fees that I was talking about are on this paper. Okay, so this is a copy of it. So that day when we got done, it asked you to initial and it asked you to sign, you and your partner. Right there. It asked you to do all that pretty stuff. Okay, so it asked you to do all that. We sent it in right then and there. And the reason we sent it in right then and there, we did not want the prices to change. So because these were the prices that they quoted and we initialed and we signed off on everything, these are the prices. Even if I decide not to do this till next year, these are the prices that are going to be solid because this is the contract that I signed. So that was another thing. So that gives you time. Anybody, like I know people out there that are saving up their money, that are doing certain things, trying to do it. Once you lock in this fee and once you pay that $500, you're in there. Now, here's the great part about that. Before I paid the $500, and believe me, everything was like instantaneous. I did my, actually, when I was on the phone with the nurse before I even talked to the doctor that day, she just asked me how I was going to pay, gave her my credit card information, paid for it, whatever. When I got done with him and then talked to the financial person, the person who actually matches you to embryos got on the line after the financial person. And while I was on the phone with, or on my Skype with her, who was very, very nice, while I was on the phone with her, the financial person was already sending me all this paperwork. This is just all of the paperwork. So when I talked to the lady who does the embryo matching, she said, well, I have already talked to you on the phone. I already know what you're looking for. And because remember, she had sent me that other lady who had the 18 embryos available and ready that were offered. She sent me seven more possibilities. It was 2 African-American, profiles and 5 biracial profiles, being it Black and Hispanic, being it Black or white, being it, however the mix was. I got 5 of those. So I got 2 African-American profiles with childhood pictures. So that was before I even paid the fee. She said, I'm going to go ahead and send you through. We had already been talking. I already know what you're looking for. So let me send these through and see if these are kind of fitting what you're looking for. Before you even pay your money, you can see what we have to offer, which I thought was very, very nice of her to do. Before I even decided if I wanted to use them, didn't want to use them, what I was going to do, she went ahead and showed me what was available and what I would have to choose from. So I thought that was just, none of the other clinics that did that. You paying your money, you're going to see what we got, and this is what it is. But she sent me all the profiles, and I might do another video just with the paperwork so you can see how it's all set up. But it's the men's donor stuff first, and then it's the woman, and at the end of the man's, you see their childhood pictures, and then at the end of the females, you see their childhood pictures, so you get an idea of what they look like as children. I think the one female, I think I had a picture up to like 14, so that was kind of a good, she had little baby pictures, and then I think her oldest picture that was on the profile was like up to 14. So you kind of gotta see what it's gonna look like. It was kind of great to see that. The first one that she sent me with the 18 embryos that the girl had, it also was set up the same way. I got to see what she looked like, and I got to see what he looked like. And actually, all the donors that are used for these actual embryos are through Virginia Cryobank. So at least for the profiles they sent me, they're all through the Virginia Cryobank. So, I kind of know where they are, who they, that they have been used, they have been successful. And the funny part about that is if you look at the paperwork that they send you, it shows you their donor number. You can actually go on Virginia Cryobank, because I was a member, or currently still am. I bought a package with them when we were doing the IUI and at-home inseminations. So we actually had an account with Virginia Cryobank. And the funny part is 2 of the donors that they're actually using here, I had chosen to use then. So that was kind of ironic when I was just using, my own eggs. So I thought that was kind of neat. But because they put their donor profile up there from Virginia Cryobank, you can actually put their donor number in Virginia Cryobank, and it kind of pulls up a little bit more information than what they have. And believe me when I tell you, they basically have all the information. But because I've dealt with Virginia Cryobank before, I know kind of what they have, and how their program is set up and how they're screened. So that made me feel more comfortable. So I want to let you know that the eggs that I'm being offered are not from somebody who has done IVF. None of them. They're all females who've donated their eggs and all men who donated the sperm. And at Derm, they've created these eggs for people who are looking for biracial or African American eggs. So that's why they have eggs on hand, because they actually did the matching and everything. So have there been successful pregnancies from these eggs? Yes, that was one of the questions that I've asked. So other people have actually used these eggs. So will my children or child or whatever have siblings out there? Yes, which is okay. Because like I said, at the end of the day, I just want to be a mother as long as I'm a good mother. And if they want to know when they hit 18, 19 years old, go looking for other siblings, if it's even possible. I doubt it is, because this is not a IVF situation where these people actually had children and then they're donating their eggs to us, and they might want some kind of open situation. It's not like that. I kind of like that it was a donor who donated her eggs and a donor who donated his sperm to make these embryos, because then you don't have all the legal bufferings, like say 20 years down the line when they're like, oh, that was my embryo and I decide I want it back because now this is a successful person. There's somebody in the media. There's somebody that's a famous football player. There's somebody that's a famous something, because they know that that was their embryo that they gave to me. Because this is so anonymous, because nobody outside of, who's in the lab and me picking from these lists know who these people are. I don't know a name. I don't know where they're from. All I have is a general what they are, who their grandparents were, what diseases that they have, what, if their grandmother had high blood pressure, if their grandfather had heart disease, it's just telling me basic information, but the information that I need to make an informed decision for myself and my family. So I really did like that. I love the way that the ladies in the office spoke with me. They made me feel comfortable. I didn't feel like this little old lady that's in here trying to have these kids. She was like, no, there's actually women in their 50s that are dealing with their program on a quest to get pregnant. And actually one of them did. She's 51 and she is currently pregnant. So I was like, okay, wow. Now with Derm, if you do research them, they are the first IVF clinic in Delaware to have success the way they have with IVF way back when it first started. So their track record is pretty amazing. So I was pretty excited about that. I actually did my research about them while I was waiting, because I had about a month, it might have been like 3 weeks between actually getting the appointment and actually having the Skype appointment. And I will say that was pretty fast. Some of these other places, you might call them in April. I called mine way back, I think it was in April, and I didn't get seen until June 20th with the other clinic. This one I called, I want to say the last week in July, or it was the first week in August. And the only reason it took so long to get into with the doctor was because he was going on vacation, which is summertime. Everybody's going on vacation. So I basically chose the wrong time to reach out to them. But I'm very excited that I did. So like I said, for the most part, it looks like everything's still moving as smooth as it is. I will be doing an update video on weight loss and progress that has been slow and steady, but I am no longer in the 200s. I am actually 198 right now. So yay. That's not as low as I thought I would be, but I'm not upset, especially because a couple weeks, it'll be 2 months since I've been on it. But still, that it's not bad, from where I was to where I'm at now. I'm not complaining. Like I said, I still got this little gobble right here. But I see it. My face is thinning out down here, definitely. I'm starting to see some definition in my cheeks. So I'm starting to see little things, doing some meal prep. I see my hint water is on sale right now. Buy 2, get 1 free. So I've been still stocking up on that. And I'm starting to tolerate real water now, which is a plus. I found what it is, I think that I don't like about water. I don't like water at room temperature. Water, any drink that I drink, I even put ice in milk, has to be freezing cold. If it's not cold, I don't want it. And I think that's what my problem is with water. If you have it in like the bottles and they start getting room temperature, to me, it tastes stale. It tastes stagnant, and I don't like that taste. But I found a cooler, like like those coffee cooler things, or that keep things, the insulated cups. I found one that actually, if I put ice in it tonight and I drink water all night, because I put bottled water in it, I still have ice in the morning. And I can still have ice at noon. Like literally before I go to work, and if I put ice in that cup, put more ice in there and put more water in there, it's there all day, so I can drink water all day because it's cold. So I noticed that about me, that I will drink more water if it's cold. So hence, I guess it wasn't that I didn't like water. I think it was just that I did not like warm or stagnant tasting water. So I hope for you ladies who've been standing and waiting for this, I hope I've answered all your questions. If there's a question that I did not answer or that you may have, please feel free to leave it down at the bottom. I will definitely answer any question that you have. I'm just doing this journey slow and steady. Oh, update. And I will be putting a video of this. We have decided that right now we're in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo here in North Carolina, which worked for us when we were first here. The pricing was great. Everything was great. Like I said, it was literally a $300 price difference between living in Pennsylvania and living down here. And we actually have more square footage. So right now we're like in about 1,500 square feet. But condo, hint, still an apartment. I don't care how you look. So, and now we have the extra dog. I don't know. I have 2 dogs now. Originally, when we moved down here, I just had 1. And then we bought Paris in March, because she was born in February. We weren't able to pick her up until May. And so we have 2 Yorkies. So with that being said, you know, even though it's 1,500 square feet and everything seems right, it's still, for dogs, it's still like apartment living, and we want to have some space. And on top of that, because we are about to go through this journey as far as the embryo adoption, we have decided we're going to transition into what is considered like a house, because we were going to buy a house, but we decided with kicking out this money for the embryo adoption, all that, it's just going to be better to rent one. So it's basically the same square footage as what we're in right now, but it's 3-bedroom. So Sydney still gets her man cave. Hopefully the 3rd bedroom will become a nursery. But we have a fenced-in backyard, and we actually have a driveway because we have 4 cars. Believe it or not, 4 cars. There's 2 adults that can drive. We have 4 cars, but thankfully, one of the vehicles is still in Pennsylvania. We have 3 of the vehicles down here. So, we have 2 vehicles in a truck. So that becomes a little tricky with parking around an apartment anyway, because everybody, of course, wants to park as close as possible. So at least we'll have our own driveway. We'll have our own, and feel like we have our own independence. And because we decided with the new place that we're going to move into, we're going to sign a 2-year lease instead of a 1-year lease, because we feel like by the end of 2 years, well, let's put it like this. If I get pregnant by October, November, we're looking by December, somewhere around there. If I am pregnant, that whole first year of the lease, I'll be pregnant. By the time that lease is up, I'll be delivering, and the whole first year of the baby's life will be there. By that point in time, we looked at possibly buying a home, because that'll be 2 years from now. So we figured 2 years should be more enough time, because the money we have set aside now that we thought we were going to use to buy a home, we're just going to use to make our family. I'd rather rent forever if I had to, if it meant I could have a child. Of course, you all want home ownership. Everyone wants home ownership. That is what all our goals are. But sometimes you have to put one thing aside for another thing. And we just came to the conclusion that it just made more monetary sense for us to continue to rent just until this process is over. And I won't feel like I wasted any money. Even if it doesn't work, it just wasn't meant to work for me. That's just where I'm at with it now. But of course, I'm throwing baby dust everywhere. I'm praying that it does work. But once again, I did not mean to drag on about that. But thank all you ladies who are watching my videos. If there's somebody that's new here and just wanted some information, please hit like, please subscribe. The more people, the better. My goal is just to reach out to people and let them know what my journey is and what I'm going through. So anyway, you guys have a great rest of your evening, and I will talk to you later. As always, it has been a pleasure, and just keep on this journey. We're gonna get there one baby at a time, but we're gonna get there. And like I said, I've done so much research to get to where I'm at right now, and I feel really happy, and I feel real confident in going with Durham in Delaware, even though that means I'm gonna be doing a little bit of traveling. It is what it is, and I have to do what I have to do. But at the end of the day, it's going to get me where I want to be. And where's that? It's being a mother. At the end of the day, that's all I want. And so we're going to make that happen the best way we can. But anyway, ladies, you have a great rest of your day. Have a great evening. Have great everything. And once again, I am so sorry. Oh, and that video will be coming about me and Sydney, how we met and all that. And you get to talk to her a little bit. She didn't like the way the first video turned out. So, of course, I had to re-tape it. So as soon as I edit that and get it all in play, I will definitely be downloading it for you ladies. So you guys have a great evening. Bye.